Welcome to Friday Fish Facts. I'm your host, Ron DeSantis. Today we're talking about 20-gallon fish tanks and what to put in them. Maybe you're thinking about upgrading your 10-gallon up to a 20-gallon. Maybe you're new to fish tanks and you want to get your first fish tank and you don't know what size to get, 10, 20. Well, I would definitely recommend getting a 20 over a 10-gallon. And I'm going to give you my top 5 suggestions to fill that 20-gallon tank. Before we even get into this video, please hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe. I currently have 6 20-gallon tanks, 3 standard and 3 20-gallon long. The first 20-gallon long has got my L260 Queen Arabesque Plecos, along with cherry barbs and a mess of Java fern. Directly below that is a 20-gallon standard, which is either a quarantine tank or fry grow-out tank. It's currently got Pseudotropheus solosii. Across the room in another 20 standard is Dumbo ear mosaic guppies, along with cherry shrimp and 1 Autocinclus. Then we've got Amelia's tank, which has got Herbetta and some Harlequin rasporas with some coolie loaches down the bottom. Second favorite tank, this 20-gallon long, has got Luke Roebuck's Blue Hawaiian Moscows in it. The aquascaping is a mess in here, but I like it anyway. There's some Monte Carlo there. There's a Java fern in the back, Java fern there, some green hair algae, and this giant bulbitis here, with a ton of Malaysian trumpet snails. And my favorite 20-gallon that we've got is this 20 long here that Ashley aquascaped. It houses a bunch of orange pumpkin shrimp. Floating around here, you'll see a lot of shrimplets. And it's got 2 super red bristlenose fry that are growing out in here. But what do you think you should put in your 20-gallon tank? What are some good ideas for you? Well, let's have a look. I've always liked killifish, but they can be somewhat difficult to come by. Or what about shell dwellers? They do nice in a 20-gallon long, especially some of the larger species like this. But shell dwellers didn't quite make my top 5. But what I think at number 5 is going to be some of the larger live bears. So it's Molly / Swordtail. Mollies are a great beginner fish. They're super hardy, they eat algae, and they come in a wide variety of colors. Swordtails come in a wide variety of colors as well, and the males have that long caudal fin down at the bottom that looks like a sword, hence that's where they get their name from. These ones happen to be my favorite. Number 4 is going to be 2 types of tetras. The first one's going to be for your 20 long, which are the rummy nose tetras. Rummy nose like to go from one end of the tank to the other in a nice school. If they lose their nice red-headed color, that's an indication of stress and or poor water quality. My tetra for the standard 20-gallon is a staple in the hobby, and that's your neon tetra. They're similar looking to the cardinal tetra, but in my experience, a little more affordable and a little more hardy. We're already at number 3, and number 3 on this list is Corydoras. These Corydoras happen to be my favorite. They're the Adolfo Corys, but there are a wide range of Corydoras to choose from. They're great for eating the leftover food that's left at the bottom of your tank. They're very peaceful, although I wouldn't want to leave them with my shrimp for too long. Some of the easier ones to find are also the most hardy ones, and you can even breed them. I have quite a bit of experience breeding the albino ones. All the fish in this tank have been bred by me. When you're selecting your cories, that they do come in a different range of temperatures, like these sturbys that like it quite warm. And then you've got these gold lasers. I love these ones. Now keep in mind, all the fish I'm going to tell you can't necessarily go together. These are just ideas for that 20-gallon tank. Like number 2 on my list, Dwarf Cichlids. Now German rams, which are these ones here, require a pH that is quite low compared to a lot of the other fish on this list. There's also a few different variations of them, like these gold rams. There's electric blue gold, there's longfin, there's black. And then you've got these Bolivian rams, which in my experience are a little hardier. Epistogrammas. There's a wide variety of epistogrammas. Epistogramma cockatoides is one of the more common ones. This one here is a Epistogrammy agassizii fire red. Absolute stunning male right there, and my favorite of the dwarf cichlids have got to be the Epistogrammas. They take it. A little easier to raise than the rams too, in my experience. Now we're at number 1 on the list, and number 1 is the Bristlenose Pleco or Ancestris. Now in my experience, a 10-gallon tank is too small. Even when I first put the fry in to grow them out, if I'm going to use a 10-gallon tank, they're not going to be in there for long. I like even 2 full-grown Bristlenose Plecos in a 20-gallon tank, as long as there's adequate filtration and you keep it up on your water changes. I have bred hundreds of these fish, mostly these super reds here, but also the calicos in the past as well. You can keep them in a wide variety of water parameters. I've got a few in with African cichlids. My favorite, the Starlight Bristlenose, which is difficult to get a good shot of. Never a problem with these albinos. Okay, what did I miss? What's your top 5 that didn't make it into this 20-gallon tank? Put in the comments down below. Join me next week for another edition of Friday Fish Facts.